What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Dominic Peterson, host of the Duck Zone 503 podcast, where we talk all things Oregon football. Welcome in. If it's your first time listening or a long time listener, welcome in, guys. We are here. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're liked. Make sure you're following on wherever you're watching this podcast. Appreciate everybody who keeps liking and subscribing, guys. On the first 1 year of this podcast, man, we have grown like crazy, especially on social media, guys, where I put out the quickest updates for you on all things Oregon football at DuckZone 503. Simple search the name of the podcast on any social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Go ahead and put that search in, and you'll find the DuckZone 503 podcast page. All right, guys. Big podcast to get into since the last time we talked. We got some players returning, key players returning for the 2023 season on the defensive side of the ball. And then we're going to touch on a recruiting update. Give you guys a quick recruiting update, a big-time prospect on who to look out for, and it's going to be on a future visit here time soon. So let's get into the episode. Welcome in. So first thing we're going to talk about today is Brandon Dorlus. Oregon defensive lineman Brandon Dorlus announces he will return for the 2023 season. He has been planning on, pretty much all year. The plan was to go to the NFL and prepare for the NFL draft, but after taking some thought, after looking at his draft status, he decides to come back for the 2023 season for his fifth year of college football. Now, so he looked at his draft stock. The defense did not perform well as a whole up front. Linebackers, defensive linemen as a whole just did not perform as many thought they would. And many experts, fans alike, media, before the season, you guys should have heard me. I was hyping up this defense. I thought this had potential to be one of the best defenses that we've seen, with Noah Sewell up front, Mace Funa up there, veteran guys. PoPo wasn't injured at that time, right? So just a really disappointing season up front. You get Brandon Dorlus coming back, put more film on the tape, really prove he can be that NFL player. And he had a pretty good year. Finished with 39 total tackles this year and 2.5 sacks. I'm sure he knows he can put up better numbers than that himself. Not a horrible year. 39 tackles, 2.5 sacks is a damn good year. In 2021, the previous year, he was named first team all conference. So really standout player for the Ducks. Good athletic player up front, has slimmed down a lot quicker now. So able to put more film on tape for this next season coming back. This is his, this is the fifth draft eligible player to announce his intent to return for the final season of eligibility. He joins Bo Nix, Stephen Jones, Mace Funa, and PoPo Amauve. Okay, breaking news as well. PoPo Amauve, who was granted an additional year of eligibility from the NCAA due to his injury this year. Amauve missed the whole entire season this last year, so they grant him another year of eligibility. PoPo Amauve in 2021, the year prior, put up 36 total tackles. So that was a big loss up front for the Ducks. Casey Rogers, Jordan Riley, guys up front really plugged and played pretty well in that spot. But no doubt, Amauve is a great beast up front. Getting Dorlus and Amauve up front is going to be big time for this defense. Get a senior-led group up front. They did not perform as well as they wanted to. You get another year into the Dan Lanning defense, another year of learning it, another year of experiencing it, getting down. It's going to be good for them to come back and put more film on the tape and prepare for the NFL draft next year. Other defenders such as Noah Sewell, Christian Gonzalez, and DJ Johnson have declared for the NFL draft. So those guys will not be returning for the 2023 season, as those guys had pretty damn good years and put enough tape on the film. Of course, Christian Gonzalez, man, and Noah Sewell, we're talking about him. Those guys will be pretty high in the draft, I would assume. Okay, another breaking news. We had transfer news here. So Arizona State transfer linebacker Connor Sewell. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Connor Sewell or Sewell. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Whatever one. I'm going to say Sewell. Connor Sewell commits to Oregon. Has 2 seasons of eligibility remaining. This past year, he had 30 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and a pass breakup with the Sun Devils. In 23 career games, he has 53 tackles, including 2 for loss and 1 pass breakup and 1 forced fumble. So definitely a force to be reckoned with. A guy that can get in the game and make some tackles. make a forced fumble, get a pass breakup in there. Really disruptive player on the field. 6'1", 220 pounds, 3-star coming out of the class of 2019. So not a big time prospect coming out of high school, but none of doubt. Just put the film on tape, and Dan Lanning was able to get another guy on the defense that can, make some plays and shore up, a position of need, that linebacker position, right? These are guys, you need some guys that come in and make open field tackles and maybe fit the system better. That's the thing with Noah Sewell and Justin Flo. You had these big, bulky linebackers, and I think with Dan Lanning's defense, he wants quick guys that can play in coverage as well. And you kind of seen Mace Funa, Justin Flo, Noah Sewell, these bigger type linebackers kind of struggle in pass coverage because of how big they were. I mean, they're excellent against the run. I mean, towards the end of the season against the Beavers, they were not, of course, but I mean, for the most part, they did pretty well against the run all season. It's just that pass defense was really bad. So I think they're bringing more athletic guys in at the linebacker position. You also had that Justin Jacobs, linebacker from Iowa that transferred in earlier in the year. You had wide receiver Trayshawn Holden, Alabama, Tez Johnson from Troy, defensive back Kyrie Jackson from Alabama, and offensive lineman Junior Angelau from Texas. All joined the Oregon Ducks, were all transfers. So that's a total of 6 transfers right there to join the Ducks this offseason. He gives Connor Sewell gives Oregon 94 projected scholarship players in 2023. My computer froze for a second. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, so yeah, Connor Sewell, him joining the team gives 94 projected scholarship players. So what does that mean? Dan Lanning and this staff's going to have some tough decisions to make come the season when it kicks off in the fall. Oregon's going to have to cut that number down to 85. Okay, the NCAA only allows 85 full scholarship players on the team by the time the season kicks off. So don't expect any moves soon. But I'm sure after spring ball, after the spring game, you'll see more transfers go out. You're going to have some talks with some guys and say, hey, man, we just don't have enough room for you. It's best if you go hit that transfer portal, and you will see some players head out. I don't assume any key players that will be playing any key roles. I think you've seen what's left of that is done. I think from this point on, especially after spring, you'll see some guys get cut off the team and, hit the transfer portal and see where they can go. Okay, now guys, let's talk some recruiting news here. So big time recruiting news. We got a big time visitor upcoming in the next coming weeks. Oregon will get a last-second official visit from 5-star athlete Nichols Harbor. Okay, I'm talking 2023 class, so closing in. February 1st is signing day, guys. So to get this last-second visit from a 5-star athlete like Nichols Harbor is absolutely huge and can launch the Ducks big time. And when you lose out on a safety like Peyton Bowen to Oklahoma at the last second, right? And that guy couldn't make up his choice, right? It's important that you can try to fill that hole again with a big time 5-star, and I think the Ducks can get one here with Nichols Harbor. Now it's gonna be hard. Okay, a lot of experts don't have Oregon in the number 1 driving spot. A lot of people have him going somewhere like Maryland or South Carolina around there. They've been big in his recruitment. A lot of guys he knows are on that South Carolina team, but Oregon has been making a big push as of late. He's coming out of Archbishop Carroll High School out there in Washington, D.C. According to 247 Sports, he's the number 1 listed athlete in the 2023 class, number 1 player in D.C., and the number 16th player in this class. So we're talking big time top 25 player in the 2023 class. If we're able to grab him late, man, what a big time move by Dan Lanning. He will visit Oregon on January 27th. So always important to get that last and final impression before you make that commitment decision, right? So January 27th, he's going to come to Oregon. He's going to experience everything. He's going to experience Hayward Field. He's a big time track star athlete, wants to be a gold medalist athlete. He said that in his recruitment interviews before. So Oregon, what do they provide? World-class track athletes out here. They develop world-class track athletes. So this guy has big time speed, big time size. Man, 6 foot, what is he? 6'5", 225 pounds. He can play tight end, defensive end, he can play both sides of the ball, and he's elite at both sides of the ball. But he did mention in his interviews as well that he does want to play the tight end position. 6'5", 225 pounds, a guy that can, at world-class speed, man, this guy could be absolutely dangerous on the field. You can see why he's listed as a 5-star athlete. Now, still, you got to get developed on the field right at the college level, but man, you could see it watching the tape. This guy's just a monster on the field. He was a 2-time DC Gatorade Player of the Year, so big congrats to that. Big, fast player. This would be an absolutely huge addition to the Ducks, so be on the lookout for that. After January 27th, he will make his decision February 1st. We got some schools here. It looks like Oregon, Maryland, Michigan, USC, and South Carolina are his final schools who he will be choosing from. So if he does go anywhere else, let's just pray to God it's not USC, right? So we don't have to play him. Man, so big time decision coming up February 1st, signing day February 1st for the end of the 2023 class. Then we'll be looking at the 2024 class, talking about that. I'm working on it right now as we speak. A lot of guys have been dealing with the All-American game and dealing with just getting moved in on campus. So letting guys getting settled in, but I'm working on getting the 2023 commits on the channel, as many as I can, guys. I don't promise all of them, but I do promise a majority of the 2023 commits. If you guys want to see recruit interviews about the 2022 class, I did get a few of those guys. It was when my channel was starting up, so I was kind of late getting to know these guys, but I do have a few like Cody DeCambra, Kyler Casper, Ellis Bynum, a walk-on, Preston Alford, a walk-on. But yeah, if you guys want to go, it's called a Get to Know series. Good recruit interviews. I got those coming up on my channel. All right, guys. So that recaps this episode. We have Brandon Dorlus, PoPo Amauve returning on the defensive line for the 2023 season. We got Connor Sewell, Arizona State transfer linebacker, joining the team, making the 6th transfer for the Ducks coming in. And then recruiting, we got a last second 5-star visitor coming in Nicole's Harbor. So big moves to watch on the recruiting side of the things. February 1st is signing day, and Dan Lanning always has something up his sleeve. We've seen the way he capped off early signing day, so I'm sure he's got something else up his sleeve other than Nicole's Harbor. So be on the lookout, be on the watch. Without a doubt, guys, if you like content like this, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and without a doubt, guys, what helps me most, I know like and subscribe helps with the algorithm and all that, but telling your friends and family about the podcast, okay? If you're a subscriber and you watch the podcast and you got other friends and family that love the Ducks, tell them about the Ducks on 503 podcast. Tell them to subscribe. All right, guys, really appreciate you guys. As always, you guys know what it is. It's your host, Dominic Peterson, at Doug's on 503. Make sure to go follow on all social media. Until the next podcast, I'll see you in the next one. Go Ducks.